Hi, how are you doing? Have you been selected? Again, congratulations to you. Of course, you know what follows. And if you don't know, it is applying for the immigrant visa. That is filling the famous DS260 form. But wait, before you fill the DS260 form, you must watch this video because, as you can see, I'm going to tell you the important tips that will help you fill the DS260 form as correctly as possible. And with this video, you are assured of zero mistakes and you'll have a successful DV lottery process if you stick to these tips. So before you jump into filling, just watch this video. The very first thing to do is to gather the necessary documents. And why? Remember clearly that in this Form DS260, you are filling all the information regarding yourself and your derivatives. And that means you need all the relevant documents with their bio information, like the birth certificates for everyone in your application. You get the work history, you get the travel history, you get the passports, you get the academic documents, all those documents within which there is ample information regarding you and your derivatives. Because this information, as accurate as they are, must be filled in the DS260 form. So tip number one, gather all the documents. The second very important tip that you should know and always remember is that the DS260 form should not necessarily be filled in one sitting. No, it has options of saving. You can fill this data and then save, and then later on, when you are ready with the rest of the information, you come, log in again, and proceed. So you should not just sit there and struggle to fill it in one sitting. No, do it step at a time, saving the information until you are through with the process. And in connection to that, remember that once you've opened the DS260 form, there is a delay limit. That is about 20 minutes. If you keep the opened page inactive for 20 minutes, it will automatically log you out. So you need to log in again to continue with the process. And then the third thing that you should importantly note is that on the side, the right side of your DS260 form, there is always instructions. Further information regarding what you're supposed to fill on your left side. So those information on your right side, go through them keenly. Every time you open a new page, read those instructions. They will direct you very well on how to fill each section. And then, when filling the DS260 form, there might be minor mistakes that during the entry you had made. Like, for example, errors in the spelling of your names. Those minor errors, you can correct them on the DS260 form. That means when filling the DS260 form, fill it with the correct information on the birth certificate plus every other document. Remember, you could even forget the place where you're born, or you think you're born in place A, while on the birth certificate and on the documents, it is place B. Those minor errors, rectify them on the DS260 form. And then we come to this other tip, very important one, on providing truthful information. While filling the DS260 form, you have and you must provide only what is correct and what is truthful about you and everything that you feel. And emphasizing on this, we have the travel history. If you've ever traveled from the age of 16, any place that you've visited, any history of your travel, indicate it there. Everything that you can remember of about your travel history, make sure you indicate it on the DS260 form. Very important. Also, don't lie about your academic achievements. If you have a high school diploma, indicate that. If you have the highest level of education as maybe PhD, indicate it. If you have a postgraduate diploma or an undergraduate degree or whichever level of education, start with that, the highest, and go down to the lowest. But provide everything around your education as it is. If you have not completed the university level or any degree or any course that you're doing, but you know by the time you will be going for the interview or before the interviews begin, you will have completed the course, then you can feel it as complete. I normally say it is better you use the education that you have the documents. You indicate that. If you don't have a document to support your education or anything else, don't indicate it there. Because once you're requested of the proof document and you don't provide it, that brings issues, brings problems. Be as truthful as you can. Don't lie or provide any fraudulent information. The other important tip that you should not forget at all is you need to create DS260 forms of your dependents, each one with his or hers. So if you are a family of 3, the husband, the wife, and a kid, the husband as the principal applicant fills the DS260 form, and then after finishing with it, goes to add the derivative and add the spouse, fill in her information, then goes to add a kid and fills the information. And after creating those 3 DS260 forms and verifying the uniformity of the information therein, that's when you should click submit. Ensure that the information under the principal's DS260 matches the information under the derivatives DS260. On one DS260, there should not be he was born in this date, and on the other one, he was born on a different date. They must match. Ensure you create the DS260 forms for each derivative, and then the information within those DS260s, they should marry each other. They should be uniform. And then finally, but not the least, is you should know that if you're trying to access the DS260 and you encounter error, you should not try several times. Multiple trials will lead to the locking of that DS260. And you will have to email KCC to unlock it for you. Then some information being sent to the embassy. You visit the embassy and then you are given the details to come and unlock. So if you cannot access, leave it that way, then come some other time and try again. And make sure you are entering correct information. If it's the case number, you're entering the correct case number. you double check your information. Multiple trials to access the DS260 form can lead to locking that will require a lengthy process to unlock. As a bonus, there is this question on whether you have the vaccination according to the United States government. And of course, if not all of you, majority of you might be having one or two vaccinations that are listed by the CDC. If you have one or two, or even if you don't have, remember that this question will apply during the interview and after the interview while processing your visa. And by the time you get to the embassy, you will have gone through the medical examination, which is mandated to administer every vaccination that is required by the CDC, that is the Center for Disease Control. So the advice that I give you is you select yes. Check yes if you have some few or even if you don't have, because by the time you're going for the interview, you will already have those vaccinations. And that is what majority do. And with that, I come to the end of the video. Take note of those tips and you will not err when filling the DS260 form. Please subscribe for more as we're going through this process. Also like the video. That favors the algorithms. Share with your friends. Let them also know about this. Let's meet in the next video.